Part 2, you guys. My video quit on me. So there's my first pan. You see it's thick. It's supposed to be just like any breads that you make. It's going to make a big loaf and then a smaller loaf. That's perfect. I did up 3 pans just in case. We'll just save this pan for later. And as always, I cut my head off. One of these days, I'll get this YouTubing figured out where I don't cut my head off. Okay. Our temperature is ready, so let's get these breads in the oven. We're going to check them in about 35 minutes. We're about halfway there. Boy, is that smelling good. Oh, can't wait. Got about 6 minutes left, so I'm going to get some green beans ready for this evening's meal. So these are, can you see my head? These are from my garden. I wish I had a big enough harvest to can some of these, but half of my beans did not take. So I'm going to try a fall crop and see if I can get a fall crop before winter sets in. All right, I'll see you back in a few. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, and I can tell by looking at these that they still need about 5 more minutes. So 5 more minutes. Here we go. All right, so we got our timer set for 5 more minutes, and my beans are done. They're ready to be cooked up. And what I'm going to do with those little ends is put them in a bag that I have in my freezer that has a bunch of odds and ends of vegetables, and that is going to be turned into broth when I need some soup broth. So there's you a little bit of a tip that you can do with your leftover carrot ends or celery ends. Anything like that, just stick it in the freezer. All right, I'll see you back in about 5. That little tip came from my daughter, from her roommate, Joey. Hi, Joey. Thanks for the tip. All right, I got my green beans going with some onion and pats of butter. I got me a little bit of butter to put on top of my bread because every good baker will put a little bit of butter on top of the bread and throw it back in the oven for 1 to 2 minutes. Isn't that cute? here we go. Let's dig these goodies out. Oh yeah. Now I like to feel them rather than poke them. That one's not done yet. That one's feeling really good. So I'm going to put some butter to brown this a little bit better. And just because of the way they feel, I'm going to set them in there for, this one's this one needs a lot more time, probably because it's bigger and it has a lot more in it. Alright, that's what you got to do with your oven. You just got to play around with it, and when it's done, it's done. Okay, so the small one ended up altogether taking 35, 45, 50 minutes. And I'm going to leave the big one in there another 10 minutes, so it will take an hour and 5 minutes for the big one. If you use the ingredients, the amount of squash that I did. And I'm going to go, I can feel that it's done, but I'll go ahead and show you with a toothpick. Okay. Alright, it says to let it set for about 5 minutes, but I hardly ever do with my breads. I just loosen up around it. Make sure it feels like it's going to come out. Well, I don't normally do that, so I'm not going to do it that way. Saw somebody else do it, but I thought, well, I better just not do that. I just catch it with my hands and tip it over. It is hot, but my hands are pretty tolerant to heat. Okay, so in about 5 minutes, we're going to get the J part of J&K to check out this squash bread. All right, so I'll see you guys in a little bit. Okay, so this little one is ready and the big one just got done. Cut a little piece off like that, so John's gonna give it a try. All right, honey. Yellow squash bread.
Smells good. That's very good.
Yeah? Would you eat it again?
Oh, yes.
All right. Well, you guys, thanks for joining us. J&KPotter. I'm Kelly.
And I'm John.
And AKA Jonkles. Thanks for joining us today.